Thirst is a 2 to 4 player vampire versus vampire game of Dominion, in which players become powerful, monstrous, and bloodthirsty vampires rise from the graveyard, hungry to find that you are not the only creature of darkness in town. Fight other vampires for dominion over neighborhoods and for influence. Hunt, but hunt wisely. The first vampire to accrue an influence score of 10 wins and can finally slake their thirst. Here's what's in the box. A 12x8 instruction manual, 30 neighborhood cards, including a starting graveyard card, 30 Ichor cubes, 6 undead tokens, and a 10-sided dice for the orange, pink, purple, and green vampires, 80 blood and tainted blood cubes, a passable sun and moon card for the active player's turn. Each vampire will also have a player coffin and 3 player cheat cards, which denote your action. There are 52 prey cards. These are the people you hunt in the city for blood influence or undead minions. There are 50 dark power cards. Players start with 1, but you can gain more throughout the game. Finally, there are 12 consequence cards. These are enacted when the humans have had enough of your shenanigans and affect the whole city. How to set up the game? The first thing you want to do is to separate and shuffle the consequence, dark powers, neighborhood, and prey cards. Once completed, put all 4 decks in the center within reach of every player. Next, you want to take the red blood cubes and the black tainted blood cubes, separate them, and put them in the center of the table. Each player will then choose a particular color of a vampire and take that vampire's dice token cubes and cheat cards. All of these will be placed in front of each player. Players then start by placing 3 Ichor and 3 blood cubes on their player coffin card next. Players draw 3 cards from the dark power deck. They choose 1 dark power to keep and reshuffle the other 2 back into the deck. Then find the graveyard neighborhood card and put it in the center of the table. Each player finds their coffin token and adds it face down to the graveyard. Finally, you flip over the sun and moon card to night or moon, and the last person who played a vampire game, watch a vampire movie, TV show, read a book, etc., takes the moon card and will play first. How to play. In Thirst, there are 3 things that are important to you as a vampire: blood, Ichor, and influence. Blood is a diminishing resource that you will lose each turn, so you must constantly drink blood by hunting humans. Ichor allows you to perform your dark actions, and they regenerate each turn. There are some actions you can do that are free of cost, but other actions, like moving or hunting prey, cost Ichor. Finally, there's influence, which is a gauge of your control and sway over the city and is gained by controlling humans or neighborhoods. Influence is also how you win the game by being the first vampire to accrue 10 influence. Turn order. On their turn, each player rises from their coffin and flips their token. This signifies to other players that it is your turn and that your turn is still active. The next step is going to be to stave off your thirst by sacrificing 1 blood and replenishing you and your minions' Ichor. I already have my Ichor full, but it's very important that you lose 1 blood every single round when you wake. The next step is to take actions by using Ichor. So I have 3 Ichor, and as you can see, there's a little arrow in between the Ichor and blood. I can always convert blood into Ichor to get more actions. All of your free actions. 1 Ichor costs actions, and 2 Ichor costs actions are on your cheat cards for you and your minions. Some examples of some actions you can perform that are free of cost are feeding on a thrall, converting blood to Ichor, dismissing a minion, discarding a dark power card, or resting in your coffin. Actions that cost 1 Ichor are moving, hunting a prey, and hiding a body. Examples of 2 Ichor actions are creating a ghoul or another vampire. Please note, there are specific actions that a vampire, a created vampire, or a created ghoul can take, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 1 Ichor to get rid of it. And that is to draw a neighborhood card, set it out, expand the city, and travel there. Okay, so now that I moved here, I have 2 actions left, so I'm going to take 1 to hunt where I'm at in Newtown. So I basically take that one and I put it here. I'm the first one to hunt there, so I'm the dominant person, and at the end of the day round, I can get this new town resource. The number indicated right here shows how many prey that I can actually hunt. And so I'm going to draw 3 cards. And what you'll see here is that from these, I can't tell much, except that there is a varying heartbeat on each one. So this one has a heartbeat of 3, this one has a heartbeat of 1, and this has a heartbeat of 2. This is guaranteed how much the strength of the pulse is and how much blood they will have. But I'm going to play it safe and just go with 1. Flip it over, and what essentially happens is these 2 then are abandoned. These are 3 potentials in the neighborhood. You can only ever choose 1 to hunt, so luckily, I didn't pull a police officer. I have Leroy the lawyer, and so there goes to the left of my card. You can also refer to the hunting process on your cheat card that basically shows you this process, so turn your prey face up and add blood to the prey indicated by the prey card. So they only have 1 blood on them. But Leroy is now my thrall and is now under my control for influence or to drain blood. So I have 1 Ichor left, and I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice this to draw a card again. And that completes my last action, unless I want to convert blood into Ichor to get more actions. Step 4 will be to command your undead minions. If you have them to command, they will perform steps 2 and 3 on the moon card. Finally, the last individual step of your turn is to flip over your vampire token and signify that you're done. Then pass the moon card to the player on the left. They start their turn and so on. Once every player has gone and before the night can end, players draw a consequence if there was a prey that got away or a neighborhood was hunted twice in the same night. Once a consequence has been revealed and resolved, flip over the moon card to the sun side and start the day over. Round order. Players keep going through and repeating the night and day rounds continually until a vampire reaches 10 influence and the game is over. During the night rounds, your vampire and your created vampires can move. However, during the day is when your ghouls can move, and only the ghouls can move during the day. The play continues clockwise while each player gets a turn having their ghouls go. Each player can create a maximum of 3 ghouls and 2 vampires. Once everyone's ghouls have gone, if any bodies are left out in the daylight, draw 1 consequence as the city reacts. Finally, in the day round, the last step is to extort your neighborhoods for resources. At this point, if you have majority of the color cubes on a neighborhood, you have dominance over that neighborhood, and you can both claim its resource as well as use 1 action to travel between neighborhoods you dominate. Keep playing day and night in turn until a vampire gets 10 influence and the game is over. For more details, check out the rules. Thanks for watching.